I did not see a second half like this coming. We've got over 50 games. How? It's summer. This is supposed to be the quiet time of the year. I guess any time is a good time to be a gamer. We've got 12 demos coming to PC, 11 early access titles, 1 Xbox demo, and at least 1 game confirmed for Game Pass. There's a lot here, so let's dive right in. Suit up as superdogs Krypto and Ace and soar through the streets of Metropolis in a bot-smashing, on-rails action-adventure game. The DC League of Super Pets video game will put players in the paws of Krypto and Ace as they take to the skies to protect the animal population of Metropolis from a new and looming threat. Aside from the on-rails parts shown in the trailer, there isn't really a lot to take from it other than it is definitely for young players and that The Rock is most assuredly not the voice of Krypto in the game like he is in the movie. DC League of Super Pets, The Adventures of Krypto and Ace come to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on July 15th. This is the story about Astrid, a teenage girl who's not quite fond of this growing up thing. We've all been there. To help take her mind off the mundane, she occupies her free time with her greatest love, music. Grab your broomstick and play to your heart's content. Shred sick tunes as a radical garage band, throw air guitars in the subway or in a local pub, and join Astrid on a wild adventure to sign her first contract with a talent scout. Loud looks to use rhythm gameplay to navigate through 14 levels. Features 15 total tracks, 3 difficulty levels, and customization options. If you're into music rhythm games, and maybe even interactive albums, this might be right up your alley. Loud comes to the Switch on July 15th and Steam at a later date. Stray is a third-person cat adventure game set amidst the detailed neon-lit alleys of a decaying cyber city in the murky environments of its seedy underbelly. Roam surroundings high and low, defend against unforeseen threats, and solve the mysteries of this unwelcoming place inhabited by curious droids and dangerous creatures. Cats are not my favorite thing. I'm super allergic, most of them are jerks, and I refuse to believe that they love you as much as dogs do. Regardless of my feelings toward felines, I think Stray looks super neat, and it allows for some unique exploration of what seems to be a very well-designed cyberpunk world. Stray comes to the PlayStations and PC on July 19th. Will the last mother fox on Earth be able to save its 3 little cubs? Experience what life would be like in a world ravaged by mankind through the eyes of the last fox on Earth in this eco-conscious adventure. I applaud any efforts to bring attention to the climate crisis because frankly, we as a species just don't seem to get it. While survival alone probably isn't easy, protecting your 3 innocent cubs raises the stakes significantly. Endling, Extinction is Forever comes to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on July 19th, and there's a demo available on Steam and Xbox now. This original interactive drama explores the entangled lives of 2 families across 30 years. Starting in 1998 with a robbery gone wrong in small-town Arizona, the choices you make have a powerful impact on the characters' lives in this uncompromising story of betrayal, sacrifice, and resilience. The setup for this game has me incredibly interested as well as the gorgeous art direction. Interestingly enough, you can also experience the game with up to 8 players both locally or online using a mobile companion app. As Dusk Falls comes to the Xboxes and PC on July 19th. Help Marie get back home to find her brother Tom, who's gone missing. Immerse yourself in a mesmerizing and emotional story of feeling lost and finding your way in life in this 2D co-op adventure told from the tiniest of insects living in a great big world. The thing that jumps out to me most from the trailer is the vibrant world. It's bright, it's colorful, and seemingly very dangerous. Where even the most common yard critters suddenly resemble monstrous dangers that must be dealt with. Mari and Bayu: The Road Home comes to PC on July 19th. Shane must pass the trials and return as an engineer or face banishment. The trials are the ultimate test that every engineer must face. For Shane, the trials are his destiny, but destiny and desire rarely align, and in a world divided between honored engineers and reviled artists, Shane finds himself torn. It looks as though your main objective will be to build and repair machinery to continue to explore the island. Game seems like it'll be very relaxing, allowing you to interact with tons of stuff and progress at your own pace. Hazel Sky comes to Xbox One, Switch, and PC on July 20th. Tombstar is a top-down space western shooter with roguelike elements that will test your mettle. Go head-to-head against the galaxy's toughest creatures in heart-racing bullet-hell combat. Free the planet Tombstar from the tyrannical grip of their leader, King Killcard, or die trying. I really like what I see from Tombstar. The top-down bullet-hell roguelite is nothing new, but here everything looks bigger and more colorful, and if the controls are as tight as they look in the trailer, we might have a game to really keep our eye on. Tombstar comes to PC on July 20th. In this asymmetrical multiplayer game featuring 3 humans and 1 monster, you have 3 minutes to keep at least 1 human out of jail, or, if you're the monster, 3 minutes to catch all the humans. Featuring both online and offline play, collect coins and show off your clutch moves by hiding as a human or going through walls as the monster. This game seems like a very simplified and cartoony take on the asymmetrical multiplayer genre. There are 5 monsters and 3 human characters, although one is very definitely a bunny. Baylor Jail comes to PC on July 20th and has a demo available now. Kunio, the beloved hot-blooded renegade, is back to wreak havoc in the world of the 3 kingdoms. The story covers all the way from the Yellow Turban Rebellion to the Battle of Red Cliffs through 6 dense chapters. This is a great chance to learn the basics of the romance of the 3 kingdoms. I know the River City folks never really went away, but I used to love River City Ransom as a kid. This is basically that game with a historical twist and brought up to modern gaming standards. While my tastes have changed, if you're a fan of beat-em-ups, I'm confident that this one is one you'll likely enjoy. River City Saga 3 Kingdoms comes to PS4, Switch, and PC on July 21st. Play as Nate, demon of bad taste, who is accompanied by Nugget, the angel. Their mission: collect ingredients for Satan's birthday cake. Use Nugget like a grappling hook, a weapon, and as your guide to overcome tight platforming sections and battles against weird enemies. Your way will be paved with ugly characters, questionable events, and tons of collectibles. This game is unapologetically gross and off-putting, and I dig it big time. Despite its cutesy aesthetic, there's some real nasty stuff here. If you need a reference point, I direct you to Conker's Bad Fur Day. Hell Pie comes to the PlayStations, the Xboxes, Switch, and PC on July 21st. Deer Journey is a third-person walking simulator game where you will be joining a fawn that has been outcast by the rest of the deer in the herd due to the fawn being partially albino. Get to know his story, share the journey together, and enjoy a peaceful game. Add baby deer abandonment to the list of my emotional triggers. This trailer got to me a bit. The game itself is apparently very short, like less than an hour. But based on the trailer, there seems to be quite a bit that takes place in that short playtime. Deer Journey comes to PC on July 21st. The latest in the series of peaceful 3D flying games, Aery, Vikings, once again has you exploring a world in effort to complete a nearly impossible task of the gods. This story-driven experience will have you flying through 13 giant stages collecting crystals to unlock new areas. I've never played any of the Aery games, but the idea of taking to the sky without the risk of getting shot down does seem pretty relaxing. Aery, Vikings comes to PS4, Switch, and PC on July 22nd. The base game of Capcom Arcade's second stadium includes Sun as a free download, and a total of 32 titles in all. Games covering shooting, action, fighting, and the puzzle genres are available in this collection, and there's even some extra perks if you've played the first Stadium collection. Unless it's 1943, Darkstalkers, one of the 2 Mega Man games, or the 6 Street Fighter games, I really don't think I know any of the other offerings in this compilation. I'm sure fans of old school Capcom will be kids in a candy store though when Capcom Arcade's second stadium comes out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on July 22nd. Making its way overseas for the first time ever, discover a series of interwoven tales stretching throughout time, and the truth behind their shared history. You could explore any of these 7 stories right from the start. This is a classic that I've always wanted to play but never had a chance to. The fact that it's here now, and it's showcasing the always sexy HD 2D art style, I'm 1000% in. Live Alive HD 2D Remake is coming to the Switch on July 22nd with a demo that carries over to the game available now. Yusuke Kaho is an outgoing and adventurous college student and member of her school's occult research club. When returning to Japan for a family visit, the other club members dare Kaho to investigate an infamous urban legend, the Midnight Door of Ikebukuro Walking Park. Senses, Midnight is a 3D survival horror game inspired by games like Fatal Frame and Resident Evil. I honestly don't think the game itself looks that great based on the trailers, but if you need to scratch that survival horror itch, Senses, Midnight comes to PC on July 22nd. Chaos Galaxy 2 is a retro-style grand strategy game deeply influenced by Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Advance War, Super Robot Wars, and other similar games. Set up farms, hives, laboratories, orbital shipyards, and more. This is admittedly not a C-dub game, but if you dig Total War or grand strategy games and you love space, have at it. Chaos Galaxy 2 comes to PC on July 25th with a demo available now. What happened to Marissa Marcel? She made 3 movies, none of which was ever released, and then she disappeared. Participate in this interactive mystery and learn more about the actress and her movies. Frankly, I'm not sure how the game will play out, not only from a story standpoint, but I'm not sure what the main gameplay conceit will be either. I do know that it comes from Sam Barlow, who released Her Story, which I never played, but remember that it was very well liked when it released. Immortality comes to Xbox Series X and S and PC on July 26th and will be available on Game Pass. Fire Commander is a real-time tactical game where you suit up and become the leader of a firefighting unit. Go into the inferno and save as many lives as you can. Remember that being a firefighter is not just about achieving your goal. The firefighters will bond with each other and yourself. Your decisions will impact their lives. Taking a strategy RPG perspective and applying it to firefighting seems like a very interesting concept. I might have to put this in front of a friend of mine who goes by Smoke Eater Mike on Twitch and is a firefighter in real life just to see how this measures up. Fire Commander comes to PC on July 27th with console releases planned for the future. It's the 1920s and the world's foremost detective is about to embark on his most challenging case yet. A mysterious invitation to an isolated island results in a grisly murder and a race against time to track down the killer. Thankfully, in this world that's not quite like our own, there's nobody better to crack the case than the great detective and gentleman giraffe, Lord Winklebottom. The humor seems to be on point with this game, and if you enjoy a good point-and-click adventure game, you may be in for a good time when Lord Winklebottom Investigates comes to the Xboxes, Switch, and PC on July 28th. Piratebots are kidnapping Autonauts and taking over our automated settlements. Only you can rescue the innocent, repel the raiders, remove the invaders, reclaim your resources, and resume control. And only through the power of automation. This could be a bad take, but this looks like a combat-focused management sim type of experience, or maybe a more boots-on-the-ground version of a Civilization, but just the war parts? I could be super off base though. Tell me if I nailed it or not when Autobots vs. Piratebots comes to PC on July 28th. Bear and Breakfast is a laid-back management adventure game where you play as a well-meaning bear trying to run a B&B in the woods. Hank and his friends find an abandoned shack and, equipped with their teenage ingenuity, turn it into a money-making bed and breakfast scheme for unsuspecting tourists. This right here is a management sim game that speaks to me. I'm not sure how your beariness affects business, but it seems like a fun time. Check out Bear and Breakfast when it comes to Switch and PC on July 28th. The third entry in the Azure Striker Gunvolt series has you controlling a new protagonist named Kieran. You can switch between Kieran and Gunvolt on the fly, which adds a new element to the series' high-speed 2D action gameplay. I'm uninitiated with the Azure Striker Gunvolt series, but after watching the trailer, it could be one of those games that I would enjoy more now than before. The action looks fast, the art direction looks beautiful, and it might be time for me to check out the series to see if it holds something for me. Azure Striker Gunvolt 3 comes to Switch on July 28th. Vestaria Saga is a strategy RPG series where positioning, movement, and weaponry are paramount to success. Continuing the adventures of Zaid, the hero from Vestaria Saga 1, he'll come across old and new allies on his journey, which comes to a thrilling and satisfying end. I've never played the original, nor had I even heard of it prior to seeing this game on the release calendar, so I don't have much to offer here. I can say that fans of the Shining Force and Fire Emblem series may find something to love here though. The combat seems to play out very similarly. Vestaria Saga 2, The Sacred Sword of Silvanister, comes to PC on July 28th. Feasted upon by the gods, humanity fights back for survival. Become one of the god-slaying knights and unravel the mystery of the Endless Sanctum in this 2D side-scrolling action RPG. Lost Epic looks like a very fun action RPG complete with fishing, cooking, upgrading, and intense combo-based combat. I might find myself dabbling with this one when it comes to PS4, PS5, and Switch on July 28th. Captain Velvet Meteor, The Jump Plus Dimensions is a tactical action game where we meet Damien, a young boy who's just moved to Japan. Lonely, Damien plunges into his imagination as the superhero Captain Velvet Meteor and discovers a world of heroes and villains from his favorite manga. I only just learned that Shonen Jump stuff was a thing this year, so I will pretend to know much about the subject matter, but I can say that the turn-based tactical combat looks super fun even compared to some of the more established franchises in the genre. Captain Velvet Meteor, The Jump Plus Dimensions comes to the Switch on July 28th. Reimu Hakurai is tasked with understanding why the Scarlet Mist is spreading once again throughout Gensokyo. She is off to the Scarlet Devil Mansion to investigate. This is a remake of a game that came out back in 2009, and it plays like a bullet hell Metroidvania. The original game apparently was a fan-made experience, if I understand correctly. This version will offer up much more, along with updated visuals, additional difficulty levels, and full voice acting. Koumajou Remilia Scarlet Symphony comes to the Switch and PC on July 28th. Build your own yacht empire. Find old yachts, patch their hulls, fix their engines, and add new parts, all while designing and installing their beautiful interiors. Take it out on the water and see how they handle. Then sell your boats and work on bigger and more luxurious vessels. I just don't know what it is about any game with simulator in the title, but never in my life have I ever said out loud, man, I'd love to work on a yacht. But here we are. I'm wondering just how deep I could fall into a game like this. The answer is likely very, very deep. Yacht Mechanics Simulator comes to PC on July 28th. Join Noah and Mio, members of the two opposing nations of Kiev and Agnes, on a heartfelt journey through a warring world with a dark secret. Traverse massive, fantastical landscapes and master seamless real-time RPG combat as you expose the true enemy pulling the strings. I am so ready for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. 2 is my favorite, but that's likely because it was the first one I actually played. To me, this is the marquee release for the month, and it should get plenty of attention. But in case you didn't know, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 comes to Switch on July 29th. The story of survival in a strange new world. Digimon Survive is a brand new adventure with a new group of teenagers who get lost on a school camping trip and find themselves transported to a strange new world of monsters and danger. This story promises to be darker than past entries and has elements that are influenced by the player's choices and actions. There was a time in my life where I was a passive fan of Digimon, but those days have long since passed. I do know that it is very popular still, and prior to this release date being announced, it is something that I'd heard brought up pretty often. I hope those people enjoy the game when Digimon Survive comes to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on July 29th. The bulk of the game takes place inside jaw-dropping structures. Fly through twisting, intricate corridors, smashing where necessary. Each level has a custom procedural generator producing epic, yet different results. It's not always fair to you. It's not always fair to the game, but that's what makes it exciting. Now listen, I'm not gonna try to say what I think about this, because if you're watching the trailer and still conscious, you've made up your own mind. Endlight comes to PC on July 9th and has a demo available now. The sequel to 2014's Dreadout, once again, you'll explore a ghost town to try to escape using your smartphone as a light, Fatal Frame-like photo ops, and some very bloody combat. Dreadout 2 comes to the Xboxes on July 15th and the PlayStations on July 20th. Labeled as a unique strategy game made by history buffs for history buffs, wargame enthusiasts, and casual players alike, Fire and Maneuver comes to PC Early Access on July 15th after being delayed by 1 month. This roguelite turn-based hex grid RPG looks intimidating but claims to be friendly for newcomers and veterans alike. Immortal Tactics: War of the Eternals comes to Early Access on July 15th with a demo available now. Serving as a bridge between survival simulators, RPGs, and co-op games, and adding in a medieval time period, Raubritter will have you fighting and building your legend when it enters Early Access on July 15th. This 2D forced scroll platformer has you jumping, floating, and stomping through vibrant pixel art levels. Running on Magic comes to Xboxes and PC on July 15th. Forza Horizon brings back the ultra-popular partnership with my youth when the Hot Wheels DLC launches for the Xboxes and PC on July 19th. This top-down action RPG where you play as Lucifer and fight through heaven released on the PC back in October of 2020 but makes its debut on the Switch on July 19th. Gloom must kill Winona. Winona wants to die, but Winona is unkillable. The entire balance of heaven and hell depends on how you navigate this visual novel. Gloom and Doom come to the Xboxes and Switch also on July 19th. This single-player first-person shooter features a fluid stunt system, destructive voxel environments, loads of bullet time, and a unique one-armed protagonist. Severed Steel comes to the PlayStations on July 20th, Switch on July 21st, and the Xboxes on July 22nd. Do you have what it takes to overcome Bahamut's trials? Trials of the Dragon King, the first expansion for Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, drops on July 20th. This game brings together characters from all the games. It plays like a turn-based RPG, but add in board game elements and you'll have Danganronpa S Ultimate Summer Camp, which comes to PS4 and PC on July 21st. Releasing with all the bells and whistles like 4K and ray tracing at 60 FPS on the PS5 and the Series X, Bright Memory Infinite drops on July 21st. The Switch version will be a native port of the original Bright Memory and will be available that same day. Justice.exe is a dialogue-heavy dystopian legal drama in which you defend sentient AI in court. It comes to early access on July 21st with a demo available now. Post-Void is a hypnotic scramble of early first-person shooter design that values speed above all else. It comes to the PlayStations and Switch on July 21st. March through the Cave of Devils together with Bunny, her 5 weapons, and her ability to manipulate time however she pleases when the dungeon-crawling action game Bunny Must Die, Chelsea and the 7 Devils comes to Switch on July 21st. Call heroes, develop kingdoms, and explore secrets of the lost world when the Book of Yogg Idle RPG comes to PC Early Access on July 21st. It also has a demo available now. X Zodiac is a fast-paced rail shooter with a stylized look reminiscent of the early 90s 3D games. Think Star Fox 64. X Zodiac comes to PC in Early Access on July 21st but has a demo available now. Explore a charming pixel world filled with challenging puzzles, interesting creatures, and titanic bosses. Koromon comes to Switch on July 21st. This visual novel focuses on mankind as they race to create new weapons to turn the tide in its war against alien invaders. Muv-Luv Alternative Total Eclipse Remastered comes to PC on July 21st. Here is a 1 to 4 player online survival horror co-op game that has you looking for the banish items that slowly up the difficulty the further you get into the exorcism. Banish comes to PC in Early Access on July 22nd. Work through prehistory as you evolve your primitive hunter-gatherers through thousands of years of technological advancement when Sapiens comes to Early Access on July 26th. The newest entry in the Story of Seasons series comes to PS4 and Xbox One. Build your farm, find yourself a romantic interest, and live your best virtual life when Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town lands on July 26th. Race League is a multiplayer racing game with a heavy focus on user-created tracks, online multiplayer, realistic physics, and a sophisticated damage system. It comes to PC Early Access on July 26th. Build railways, manage traffic, and stay accident-free in Europe, America, Japan, and the USSR between 1830 and 2020. Train Valley comes to PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on July 27th. Here is a strategic city-building game set in a world where the railway is king, and trains are the sole means of transportation and expansion. Sweet Transit comes to PC in early access on July 28th. Uoni is a first-person narrative horror game that whisks you away to a sunset-stained world to play a deadly game of hide-and-seek. Already out everywhere else, it comes to Switch on July 28th. I, for one, have no interest in returning to high school. If you do, on July 28th, you'll get your chance when the latest Sims 4 expansion, High School Years, drops. Manage your sci-fi colony by keeping colonists happy, treating wounds and illness, and fending off attacks in RimWorld, which comes to PS4 and Xbox One on July 29th. Play as the cute cat girl Nyaruru in the surprisingly fast-paced Metroidvania when Nyaruru Fishy Fight comes to PC in early access on July 29th. Wow, this half month has more going on than some full months, and combined, July is the most games I've covered in a 1 month span ever. Thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. As always, I hope it was enlightening and showed you something to get pumped about in July. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and go give the Future Dubs Twitter account a follow to make sure that if anything shuffles around after a video's been posted, you know about it. You can now find me streaming on YouTube on Tuesdays and Thursdays, while I'll continue to stream on Twitch on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Finally, please consider becoming a patron of mine. I pour my heart into these videos, and while things are moving in the right direction, I am all funned out on door dashing. Your support will go a long ways toward helping me fully commit to this as my full-time gig. Have a great rest of July, enjoy my birthday on the 19th, and I'll see you in August.